What is up? It's MTG of MTG Reviews, and this is a trip to Durban video. So a lot is gonna be happening here. My sister is gonna scream for her life. Monkeys are actually gonna steal our bread. Dolphins are gonna clap for you for subscribing. In this trip, I'll be showing you activities that we're going to be doing throughout the trip, and you can do the same when you visit Durban. I'll cover the cost of everything later on the video, but firstly, we need to get there. So what we're vying with is the BMW M340i, in which we all know by now. Before we left, just like on every trip that we do, fill up the car, so full tank. So this is a 6-hour trip, but I won't be covering as much of the road trip part because then the video would be long. So here we're already 1 hour and couple of minutes in the trip. As you can see, the ETA is showing 4 hours and 41 minutes. So we're already on the N3, and unlike the Limpopo trip, we're not trying to break records. So this was a chill trip, going at the speed limit. Even if we wanted to go above it, in which we'd never do, but I'm saying even if we wanted to, but it was not going to be the easiest thing to do because the N3 going to Durban is riddled with speed cameras. Just cruising nicely, driving on echo throughout from Gauteng to KZN. The car was on echo, and we actually came across this nice looking Kia Stinger. Kia was actually cooking here. They went to something, and there's nice scenery on the way, man. It's actually quite nice. There's like, yeah, a lot of mountains, but then what impressed me was this mini Table Mountain, in which I feel like it just needs some proper marketing, and it could be in business, could be making money with it. And yeah, after having spent hours on the road, we had a pit stop at View Complex. This is actually such a nice area to have a stop at. It's not like your usual garage stop. It has a lot of things. There's like a lot of shops. It's refreshing here. And I spotted this nice looking VWCC sitting nicely. It was sitting down. Quite nice. Don't see a lot of these. We bought some food and we're on our way again. And what's nice about going to Durban, especially on a fuel hungry car like this car, is that you're going downhill, so you can just coast and save fuel. And the consumption, the average consumption, as you can see, was at 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers, which is actually kind of crazy coming from this performance-based engine. Here we were within Riteni, we are in Tepene, as you can see. And big shout out to everyone who's watching this from Durban, man. Yeah, much love. So the house that we were going to for the weekend is by the beach. So driving there, or driving to the house, you actually get to see the ocean, and there's like the beach there, actually Umdloti Beach, which is quite nice. It's such a cool looking scene. And yeah, here's the house. It's quite nice. A 3-story house by the beach, where you get the beach as like on your backyard, and which is not backyard, okay, front yard. I mean, what more could you ask for? And as I said, it's a 3-story, meaning that you have to climb the stairs, and these ones were quite steep. But either way, the house is quite nice. So this house can accommodate up to 13 people, or somewhere around there. I think 13 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and that's the reason we chose it, because this is a family trip. So yeah, check that out. Everything was nice, as you can see, man. Big rooms, yeah, everything was quite up to standard. The house is so big that it's so easy to get lost in it. And then after that, we headed to Gateway Mall to get some few things that we needed for the Braai later on at the house. And this mall, man, this thing is huge. It's big. Like getting in, like when you enter from the entrance that we got in at, it looked like, yeah, it's okay. It's a normal mall. Until you really get in, it's actually huge. It's actually number 3 at being the biggest in the country in South Africa. So yeah, it's quite chunky. And after getting everything that we needed, we headed back to the house to start with the braai. As you can see here, my brother was spicing the meat. You have 6 garnet to perfection. I mean, that's all you need. And then we're getting the fire started as well. My sisters were preparing something on the kitchen. La me says is ave. I can't come and let the vlog. Mara, I do want the vlog at ipari bala ku teka ti-vlog lava isesimkulu lava vele ku swekeni. It actually was quite busy and my mom was on the pots as well cooking pap. Okay, let me get back to the meat. As you can see that, yeah, it's quite nice. I mean, the meat is the star of the show when it comes to braai. So yeah, it's coming up nicely. And back to the kitchen, they were done with the pap and chakalaga, and yeah, we ate. And apologies for not showing that part, because I mean, when I see food, honestly, I forgot about the camera. I'm not the kind of person who's gonna shoot food or like people eating like that, especially when it's a braai. I don't, yeah, I forget about the camera in that moment, just like, yeah, I did. Now, the next morning. So on these days, the activities were going to Ushaka Marine World, a boat cruise, and Umhlanga Beach. Before we get to the activities, can you please subscribe to the channel? It's totally free. No money will exchange hands. You just click the subscribe button. It really helps me with creating more of the content that you love, just like this video. So please subscribe. So we started with Ushaka Marine World. It was packed, like packed. In Tonga, we say, I go for Malana Pelo Jamara or Mona Angwate. I got busy too much. So I don't know why, but I think during this weekend everybody was just in Durban. So I initially actually thought Ushaka Marine was just a small Nyana place where you just get to see dolphins and that's it. Nah, it's quite big. There's a lot of different things that you can do here. So what we started with was the dolphin stadium to watch dolphins. So I know dolphins are smart, but it's actually kind of crazy how they do these things, man. How do they train them? How do they do these stunts? And how did in the first place they know that dolphins can do this? It's kind of crazy. Like, who started this? But yeah, man, it was actually quite cool watching dolphins do things. And then there's the dolphin clapping for you for subscribing, and thank you for subscribing again. Yeah, and as you can see, man, these things are really agile. They can move and they're really fast. Yeah, but I think they award them with fish. I think it's fish. They basically give them snacks for them to be motivated to do those stunts. And yeah, they do that. That's it with the dolphin show. Next, we went to the aquarium, which were greeted by this big skeleton. I assume it's some sort of a fish because it seems like it has pectoral fins. Yeah, but it has a huge long vertebrae column, in which I think, yeah, that's why I think it's a fish. And the aquarium is this old ship. Basically, it has windows to see what's on the sea, and there's interesting fishes in here. And yes, it is fishes because it's different species of fish. And yeah, I saw these sharks as well, which they're not big like on the movies, but yeah, a shark is a shark. And yeah, I was thinking, if ever this glass was to crack or something, what would happen? A lot would happen. But yeah, nothing like that happened. So yeah, that was actually a nice experience to see. And I saw that plane there, and I think it was placed because how did it manage to get there? Yeah, it was placed. So the aquarium is good. And then up next was there's a dolphin show, there's a seal show as well, where they do those kind of stunts as well. But then we didn't have time for that, so we headed straight to the boat cruise. And yeah, we headed to our boat. This actually was the funniest, not even funniest, but fun and funny at the same time, but a nice experience. So we headed there to the boat, and then we started. It was actually quite nice, not scary at all. And then we headed to the deep waters. It was soothing. It was a nice experience. Even if you have aquaphobia, I feel like you can handle this. It's not that hard. Until we got deep. There, the waves were a bit aggressive. And to be fair, man, the skipper did say that it's gonna be wavy. He's gonna switch off the engine, and yeah, the boat is just gonna be doing its thing. And it sounded okay until we experienced it.
I tell him. All right.
yeah, I don't have words to say. You saw by yourself what was happening. So yeah, it was a crazy experience. Yeah, and on our way back, we passed by these big ships which carry things that are being imported to the country. And I think some of them actually carrying your Shein and Temu orders. Yeah, these things are huge, man. And there's these ones which are called Ro-Ro ships. They carry vehicles. Quite a nice thing to see. And yeah, that was it with the boat cruise. And so another thing that we had planned out for the day but didn't happen was the Segway and the bicycle rides there by Moses Mabida and the stadium tour. But then it didn't happen because mainly we were there for bike rides. But then stay tuned, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, just not today. So it didn't happen. So yeah, I was just like, let's just go back because they said the bicycles were fully booked because there was a lot of us. So yeah, we went back to the house, relaxed a bit, and we went to Ushaka beach. But then we quickly realized that nah, the beach that we have there by the house is way better than this one, because this one was packed. Not really packed back like there's a lot of people, but there's people. And yeah, man, I feel like it's better to be at the beach like by yourself or privately than being where there's a lot of people. So yeah, we went back to the one by the house. It's more private. As I said, it's nicer. By being by the beach, man, it's such a nice, cool experience. It's therapeutic. You can't get enough of it. So we ended up spending the whole day here, just enjoy, like listening to the waves, having that feeling of salty water. Sometimes it gets into your mouth and it really is salty, more salty than you expect. But yeah, it's cool. Spend the rest of the day here. It was at night, as you can see. Yeah, it was cool. Now, this was Sunday. This was the last day of the trip. It was actually quite a good day, as you can see outside. This view deserves the good morning soundtrack by Kanye, but we can't do that, man. Copyright. So yeah, it's beautiful. But then one thing I have to tell you about owning a car here is that when you own a car and you stay in this house, you're close by the sea. It's not a good combination because the humidity of the salty water will speed up your car rusting very fast. So it's a cool house, but then owning a car here, not nice. So we headed up to Moses Mabida to do what we couldn't do yesterday. So there's Segway and there's bicycle rides. We chose bicycle rides since we all know how to ride bicycles. With a Segway, hey man, things can happen very fast, might not end well. So we went to the beach with them. All good. It was all nice going there. Actually, you're just cruising down the beach, but then going back up, you are climbing an incline. So yeah, it was not nice. It was not nice, but then we managed to overcome it, and we shot some cool videos here behind Moses Mabida. And yeah, man, the bike ride I actually highly recommend you do. Actually cheap as well, as you will see when I talk about the prices later on the video. And then I tried out this tricycle, which looks fun, but it's really uncomfortable. You won't really last long riding this thing. It's not as nice as it looks. And then we were on our way because we did check out when we left the house. Crazy enough, with this M340, we didn't refuel since Friday. So from Gauteng to Durban and then driving around Durban, yeah, it was just on one tank, and the car covered over 800 kilometers on one tank. So yeah, the M340 can be economical. So we left Epene around 1, and there was a lot of traffic on the road, so it became a long drive because of that. We ended up arriving at around 7, so 6 hours on the road, in which it's what Google shows anyways, but it was okay. Now let's talk money and the cost of things. I'll cover the car first. So I don't remember the exact amount, but then let me just say around 3.5 for the petrol. And then for the Airbnb, for 2 nights right now, it's showing $1,061 US. However, this price is not fixed. It can change according to dates. So that's 18,548. So yeah, just be on the lookout if you want to go to that house if the prices change. And the activities, let's start with Ushaka Marine. So for adults, it's 227 rands. For kids and seniors, it's 183 rands, and free for toddlers. You can't buy the tickets online. You have to go there, buy them physically at the Ushaka offices. For the boat cruise, it was 1,650, and the required deposit for that, which is actually quite fair. And lastly, the bike rides. That was 80 rand for 1 hour per bike, and which is actually fair as well. And as I said, I highly recommend that. Until the next one, stay subscribed, like the video. Danko.